Single misstep can end a life in seconds in Africa's brutal dry season. Zebras, lions, and crocodiles fight for survival at shrinking waterholes. A rare white lion cub risks its pride's safety, while dams disrupt rivers, forcing hippos into violent clashes. Every loss fuels new life, but human impact threatens the balance. From wild dogs to rhinos, witness nature's raw struggle. Discover the raw struggle of Africa's wildlife with us and help save their future. In southern Africa, the dry season transforms the landscape. Rivers shrink, grasslands turn to dust, and water becomes scarce. By July, only 5% of the region's water remained. Confined to small, muddy pools scattered across Kruger National Park and Luangwa Valley. These waterholes draw every animal in the ecosystem. Zebras, antelopes, and buffalo arrive, driven by thirst. Each step toward the water carries risk. Beneath the surface, Nile crocodiles wait, motionless. Their eyes barely visible. They do not hunt actively. They rely on patience, saving energy until prey comes close. One wrong move, a hoof slipping in the mud can end a life in seconds. The dry season forces every species into these shrinking spaces. Where survival depends on timing and precision. This struggle at the water's edge sets the stage for a larger battle. Every creature, from predator to prey, faces the same challenge: adapt to the harsh conditions or disappear. In this battle, the zebra, a species that survives through structure and vigilance, but even they cannot escape the dangers of the waterhole. In the Luangwa Valley, a zebra herd approaches a waterhole. The herd moves as a unit, with wild animals organized to protect their vulnerable members. Females lead the group, relying on their experience to choose safe paths to the water. Their knowledge of the terrain guides the herd through the dry season's dangers. Males, strong and vigilant, guard the rear. Scanning for predators that might stalk them. Bulls, young and fragile, stay in the center of the formation. Their black and white stripes blending into the group's pattern. This tight structure is critical for survival, as the stripes of these wild animals confuse predators from a distance, reducing the risk of attack by 30%. Each zebra remains alert, ears twitching and eyes scanning the surroundings for any sign of danger. As the herd reaches the water's edge, they pause, sensing the risk hidden in the murky water. A young foal, inexperienced and curious, steps too close to the muddy bank. It strays a few feet from its mother, breaking away from the safety of the group. The herd's formation, designed to protect all members, is now at risk due to this single mistake. Beneath the water, a crocodile waits, its body concealed in the murk. The predator remains still, its eyes locked on the foal's movements. The foal's hoof sinks deeper into the mud, trapping it near the water's edge. The rest of the herd stays close, but the gap between the foal and its mother leaves it exposed. This moment of vulnerability reveals the stakes of the dry season. Even the most organized herds of wild animals face threats that test their survival. The crocodile, patient and unseen, waits for the perfect moment to strike. Its strategy relies on stillness, contrasting the zebra's reliance on movement and unity. The foal's isolation heightens the tension as the herd's strength is tested by the looming danger. The Nile crocodile does not chase. It waits. This wild animal documentary, in the dry season, reveals how the crocodile conserves energy, slowing its breath. At the river, its eyes lock onto a zebra foal, tracking every movement. The herd moves, unaware of the danger lurking beneath the surface. The foal crossed the river, the strong current holding it in place. In less than 3 seconds, the crocodile strikes. Its powerful jaws snapped shut, dragging the foal under the water. But the foal had escaped. It ran quickly up the bank to its mother's side. The crocodiles scattered, watching for their escaped prey, but it was too late. The herd's crossing continued. It was this efficiency that defined the crocodile's approach. It relied not on speed or brute force, but on perfect timing. In the dwindling lakes of the dry season, every sip of water was a gamble, and the crocodile was the ecosystem's silent enforcer. The crocodile's patience and precision, a survival strategy that sets it apart. A little-known fact is that Nile crocodiles can endure 6 months without eating by reducing their breathing rate, conserving energy for moments like this. The waterhole is only the beginning of the survival struggle. Beyond its edges, other species face their own challenges, each adapting uniquely to the dry season's harsh demands. While crocodiles rely on stillness, predators like lions depend on coordination and strength to hunt. The fight for survival begins when wild animals are forced to gather at scarce water sources. Where a single mistake can lead to disaster. how do other species adapt to this unforgiving environment? Each must find its own way to endure, balancing risk and survival in a landscape where every moment tests their resilience. In eastern Kruger, a lion pride prepares to hunt. Among them are lion cubs, its pale fur a genetic rarity among wild animals. The pride moves through tall grass, damp from the early morning. Lionesses stay low, their bodies blending with the terrain as they track prey. They wait for the wind to carry the scent, ensuring their approach remains undetected. The lion cub follows its mother closely, but its light fur catches the sunlight, making it visible from a distance. Research from Kruger National Park shows that lion cubs have around 50% mortality in their first year. And an overall mortality rate of about 80%. A wildebeest female lifts her head, her ears twitching as she notices the cub. She bolts, alerting the herd. The wildebeest scatter, their hooves shaking the ground, and the hunt fails. The pride's effort is disrupted by the cub's visibility. A reminder that in the wild, being different can be a burden. A hyena, drawn by the noise of the fleeing impalas, approaches the cub, sensing an opportunity. The cub's mother steps forward, her body tense, claws sheathed but ready. Her presence is enough to make the hyena back off, growling as it retreats. The lioness gently grips the cub's neck with her mouth, pulling it into the dense acacia brush for safety. The pride lies still, no one correcting the cub's mistake. In this ecosystem, being seen first can cost not just a meal, but the safety of the entire group. The lion cub's struggle highlights the need for precision in survival. where a single error can have consequences for all. This moment evokes sympathy for the cub, whose unique trait puts it at risk, and tension for the pride, whose survival depends on successful hunts. The lioness's protective instincts show their strength, but the failed hunt leaves them hungry, underscoring the dry season's challenges. While the lion pride recovers from this setback, other predators, like African wild dogs in Luangwa Valley, rely on a different strategy. Their flawless coordination allows them to overcome the dry season's hardships, where teamwork ensures survival. How do these wild animals adapt when individual differences, like the lion cubs, threaten the group's success? Each species must navigate its unique challenges in an unforgiving environment. In Luangwa Valley, a pack of African wild dogs prepares to hunt. They move in a loose arc, each dog positioned to block escape routes. Before the hunt, they circle, licking faces and nudging heads, as a ritual to unify the pack. Their target is a herd of impalas, fast but vulnerable when separated. Wild dogs achieve a 70% success rate, higher than lions due to their coordination. They approach, ears tilted, tails flicking, communicating without sound. The wind carries the impala scent. A dog lunges too early, breaking formation. The impalas scatter, leaving only dust. The hunt fails, but the pack does not punish. Adults nuzzle the dog, reinforcing trust. They regroup, ready to try again. This adaptability sets wild dogs apart. They hunt in dense, rugged terrain targeting weak prey to control disease and maintain healthy herds. Their role reduces competition, spreading prey across the ecosystem. But human expansion roads and farms fragment their corridors. Losing a single dog can unravel a pack, threatening their survival. While wild dogs rely on unity, other species shape the ecosystem through solitary strength, leaving lasting marks on the landscape. The pack's unity is central to their survival. Each dog has a role, from scouts to chasers, working as a single unit. Their silent communication through ear tilts, tail flicks, and body posture ensures precision. This coordination allows them to outmaneuver faster prey like impalas. Unlike solitary predators, wild dogs depend on the group. A single mistake, like the pup dog's early lunge, can disrupt the hunt. But the pack's response is unique. Instead of aggression, they show patience, teaching the pup dog through gentle contact. This strengthens trust and ensures the pack remains cohesive. Their ability to learn from failure is a key reason for their high success rate. In a wild animal documentary, this behavior stands out, showcasing their intelligence and teamwork. With fewer than 7,000 wild dogs left in Africa, their survival is fragile. In contrast, the rhino, a solitary species, shapes the landscape differently. Its paths through thick vegetation create trails for smaller animals. Yet, poaching and habitat loss endanger rhinos. Much like human expansion threatens wild dogs. Both species, though different in approach, are vital to the ecosystem. The wild dog's unity and adaptability inspire awe. As seen in a wild animal documentary. Their ability to regroup after failure and maintain trust highlights a strength that resonates deeply. Showing nature's complex balance of cooperation and survival. In southern Kafue National Park, a rhino walks alone. Weighing nearly 2,000 pounds, it moves silently, blending into the dawn light. The rhinos are solitary wild animals, active at dusk or dawn to avoid detection. Their paths, worn over years, guide antelopes, warthogs, and other wild animals to water and grazing areas. A single rhino clears brush and trims shrubs, keeping grasslands open for 15 species. It marks territory with urine and dung, creating scent maps that reduce conflicts among wild animals. Rangers track rhinos with GPS, but signals often fail in remote areas. Poaching and farming have cut their habitat by half in decades. Fences block old trails, forcing rhinos into unfamiliar terrain. Each step a rhino takes shapes the ecosystem. But its absence causes problems. Overlapping territories increase tension among wild animals. And overgrazing spreads, harming grassland. The rhino's horn, used for defense, can pierce small trees. But it rarely charges unless cornered. In a shrinking world, every move risks exposure. Losing one rhino disrupts the savanna's balance, affecting plants and wild animals. Human impact goes beyond rhinos. Expanding farms and roads fragment habitats. reducing space for wild animals like hippos and crocodiles. Rivers, once wide, shrink from overuse, causing fights over territory. Hippos clash with crocodiles in crowded waters, and fish populations drop. Poaching for rhino horns, driven by illegal trade, claims the lives of hundreds yearly. Only about 6,000 rhinos remain in the wild, down from 70,000 in the 1,970s. Conservation efforts like anti-poaching patrols and habitat restoration struggle with limited funding. Fences meant to protect rhinos often trap other wild animals, disrupting migration. Climate change worsens droughts, drying water sources rhinos and others rely on. Without rhinos, ecosystems suffer. Grasslands close up, reducing food for grazers. Predators face less prey, and scavengers lose resources. The loss of rhinos creates a chain reaction, threatening biodiversity. Protecting rhinos means saving habitats for many wild animals. Rangers need better tools, and global support must grow to stop poaching and habitat loss. If rhinos disappear, the savanna's balance collapses, affecting every species. Awareness and action are urgent to ensure wild animals like rhinos continue shaping ecosystems for future generations. In the wilds of Africa, wild animals like leopards and elephants shine in this wild animal documentary. Showcasing their survival skills. Leopards, solitary hunters, rely on precision and timing to catch prey. They stalk silently through tall grass, their eyes locked on targets like antelopes. Before launching a swift attack. A leopard's strength allows it to drag prey 3 times its weight up trees to protect it from scavengers. This behavior highlights their independence and cunning in navigating the challenges of their environment. Elephants, in contrast, thrive in groups, guided by instinct and memory. They travel ancient routes across vast plains, led by a matriarch who remembers water sources and safe paths from years past. Elephants can recall locations of water holes miles away, ensuring the herd's survival during dry seasons. Their slow, deliberate movements and protective behavior toward their young show a deep bond within the group. Both species adapt uniquely to their habitats. Leopards with stealth and agility. Elephants with strength and collective wisdom. This wild animal documentary highlights how these wild animals maintain nature's balance. Where each species carves out its role. A leopard's ability to climb trees keeps its food safe, while elephants' migrations maintain the ecosystem by clearing paths and spreading seeds. According to National Geographic, leopards' tree climbing skill is unmatched among big cats. And the African Wildlife Foundation notes elephants' memory spans decades, guiding them to resources. Can these species continue to thrive as their world changes? The leopard's solitary precision and the elephant's communal strength offer a glimpse into the resilience of wild animals. Their survival depends on environments that allow their instincts to flourish. From open savannas to dense bushland. By observing these creatures, we gain insight into the intricate systems that support life in the wild. The raw power and intelligence of wild animals, whose existence reflects the beauty and complexity of nature. Their stories remind us of the importance of preserving habitats, where these remarkable creatures can continue to roam and thrive. But even the powerful instincts of leopards and elephants are being tested by shrinking grasslands and blocked rivers. In Luangwa Valley, a wildebeest herd crosses a river to reach new grass. The current is fast, hiding rocks and crocodiles. One female leads, testing the water's edge. The herd follows, hooves sinking into mud. A crocodile strikes, pulling a wildebeest under in seconds. Blood spreads upstream, but the herd keeps moving. On the bank, vultures circle, drawn by the smell. They land, pecking at the remains. Vultures clean 70% of carcasses in the ecosystem, preventing bacteria from spreading. The wildebeest body feeds fish in the water and birds on land. Grass grows where it decays, drawing antelopes back. No passing is wasted. Each loss fuels the cycle, supporting life across the savannah. The wildebeest journey shows that survival is not just about living, but about contributing to the ecosystem. Even in the end, this cycle connects every species, from predators like crocodiles to scavengers like vultures. In a system where nothing is lost. The wildebeest's passing provides food for fish, which support other aquatic life. The vultures, by cleaning carcasses, keep the environment free from harmful bacteria that could spread disease. The nutrients from the decaying body enrich the soil, encouraging grass growth that attracts more grazing animals like antelopes. This process repeats, maintaining balance in the ecosystem. Every animal plays a role, whether it's predator hunting, a scavenger cleaning, or a grazer feeding on plants. This interconnected system ensures the savannah thrives. with each species depending on the others to survive. However, this natural balance faces challenges today. Human activities like deforestation, poaching, and pollution threaten the Luangwa Valley and similar ecosystems. Cutting down trees reduces grazing areas, forcing herds to travel farther and face more risks. Poaching decreases animal populations, disrupting the food chain. Pollution harms water sources, affecting fish, crocodiles, and other species. Climate change also alters rainfall patterns, impacting grass growth and the animals that rely on it. Protecting this cycle requires action. People can help by supporting conservation efforts, reducing waste, and promoting sustainable practices. National parks and wildlife reserves in places like the Luangwa Valley work to preserve habitats. But they need public support. By understanding and valuing this natural cycle, we can take steps to ensure it continues. The wildebeest's journey reminds us that every life and passing matters in the ecosystem. Our actions today will decide if this balance endures for future generations to appreciate. Across southern Africa, every species plays a role. Zebras maintain herd structure to survive. Lions protect their young, even when it risks failure. Wild dogs hunt with precision, adapting to mistakes. Rhinos carve paths for others. And crocodiles clean the rivers. Each loss feeds new life. From vultures to grass to grazing herds. But this balance is fragile. Africa loses 3% of its grasslands yearly to farming and development. Dams disrupt rivers, and poaching threatens rhinos and elephants. Conservation efforts, like those from the African Wildlife Foundation, track animals and restore migration corridors. GPS data shows elephants and rhinos follow deliberate paths. But fences and roads block their way. Protecting these species means protecting the entire ecosystem. Water, grass, predators, and prey. The savanna wakes under soft light, ready for another day. The cycle continues, but its future depends on us. Every species contributes to the ecosystem's balance. However, human activities threaten this system. Farming and urban growth destroy grasslands, reducing food for grazers. Dams change river flows, affecting fish and crocodiles. Poaching decimates rhinos and elephants, disrupting their roles in the ecosystem. Fences and roads block migration paths, shown by GPS tracking of elephants and rhinos. Without free movement, animals struggle to find food and water. This harms the entire food chain, from grass to predators. Conservation groups are working to fix these problems. The African Wildlife Foundation tracks animals to understand their needs. They restore migration routes and protect habitats. Other organizations remove fences and fight poaching. These efforts help, but they need support. You can make a difference by donating to conservation groups or spreading awareness. Volunteering or supporting sustainable practices also helps. By acting now, you protect the savanna's cycle for future generations. Every small action counts. Subscribe now to follow the wild stories of Africa and help protect its future. Learn about the Serengeti's challenges next time, where animals face new survival tests. Your support keeps Africa's ecosystems alive. single misstep can end a life in seconds in Africa's brutal dry season. Zebras, lions, and crocodiles fight for survival at shrinking waterholes. A rare white lion cub risks its pride's safety, while dams disrupt rivers, forcing hippos into violent clashes.